What's the one job interview question that gets people hired in mining? That's an easy one. And in your quest to get a mining job, you're going to go through a few interviews. Hopefully, not too many, but you're going to have a few for sure. And you might come across this question, and it's a question that they ask, and it gives a lot of insight into who you are as a worker. And that question is, tell us about a time that you had to stop a job for an unsafe situation or handle an unsafe situation. And typically when you answer that question, you're going to relate to a myriad of stories that you've had in the past from other jobs. And it's a good idea just to have one go-to that you keep in the back of your mind for a situation like this. And when you answer it, you're going to typically answer it in a kind of a certain format, like that what was the situation? What were the tasks that you were doing at the time? What action did you take to correct the situation? And the result, what ended up coming about from the actions that you took. So what these questions ask are basically, are you someone that they can rely on to be left on their own without supervision at times, and you're going to do the right thing? That's what they want to know. They want to know if you're a safe worker. You're not afraid to speak up if you don't see something is wrong. So for example, me and my partner were bolting and heading. I had a bad feeling. It wasn't very good ground, so we decided to take off. It was around lunchtime anyway. I said, well, let's go have a bite to eat. I said, something's wrong. It's just, or the ground's acting funny, or blocky. Let's just go take 5. So we all have lunch. We come back, and we came back the whole back had come down. Like a 3-foot slab had come off the back. And if we hadn't gone for lunch, if I hadn't listened to my gut and we hadn't gone for lunch, wouldn't be here doing this video right now. So that was the actions that I took had a positive result. So that would be a good way to answer that question in an interview.